And I'm glad you guys mentioned it because I'm an idiot and forgot to put it on the docket. This is the Hot Toys Stealth Suit Captain America. This should have been the topic we led with, honestly. But I don't know how no one reminded me. Guys, you're going to have to start messaging me on Instagram or something and let me know, remind me to bring this stuff up. Because when you guys said that, I was like, damn it, I forgot to mention Stealth Suit Captain America. So this caused a Tennessee tornado in the community because I was watching the groups. This was crazy, especially the Sideshow group, because the Sideshow group, I don't know if I've ever seen people this mad. This was like people were really upset about this because originally supposedly what people said in the community was that the RSVP list, the 300 were only going to be 300 on a discount. Then it was going to be available for everyone else. Then suddenly it went up for pre-order or up for order. And they were like, oh no, they're actually only 300. And everyone was trying to buy them. And the website was crashing for hours and people were having the most frustrating experience. And I was like, guys, if you're frustrated by this, I don't know if you ever tried to buy a PS5, but it's just like this. And I've experienced that same frustration. I know exactly how that is. It's very difficult. I think in 1/6 collecting, we're not as used to this because this has not been our world or our reality. But this might be something moving forward that this becomes a thing. And Carlos, I want to let you go first on this one because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think I remember you saying that this actually went well for Sideshow. I want to hear you explain that again because there's a lot of pissed off people right now. But what do you think? Can you explain the logic of that one?
Yeah. So it went well. So in the sense of when you're trying to make a test, and I believe this is really what it was from Sideshow, you're looking at from a small sample size, right? You don't go into it and say, hey, we're going to promote this and we're going to make 1,000 of them and see how it goes, right? What I mean is it was successful for them because now they understand that exclusivity matters. It didn't go well for them as far as like the engagement, right? But those negative comments have stopped. People aren't out, haven't banned Sideshow and they're never going to buy from them again. So this led to one day, maybe 2 days of bad PR, but it gave them a ton of confidence that they can do this again, up the price, and give you a 30% coupon when probably those figures are going to be 30% or off or more on Black Friday. So they're just getting you to buy early, right? So that's what I mean that this was successful. They now understand that because if exclusivity didn't matter to this community, people wouldn't have gotten us upset. Because I can tell you right now, 100%, I'm not even like, 80, 100%, if this figure would have just been available just to buy, it will still be fucking available. Okay?
Yeah, it would.
Look at the Iron Man Mark 46. That fucker's still sitting.
And that's a beautiful figure with that base.
Exactly. So that's why exclusivity does matter. People say they don't, and I understand collecting. Love of collecting comes first, but so does exclusivity. It comes close second, right? So because of that, I think Sideshow won. I think Sideshow has been finally able to say, hey, a figure that would sit, that we know people probably wouldn't have bought, because it's not like this figure is like $500, $600, $700 in the aftermarket, right? It sold out. But yet that Iron Man Mark 46, we can't sell that fucker. But I guarantee you the Mark 46, if it would have been like, hey, we're only getting 300 right now after this one, that will sell out even faster, right? The only problem the Sideshow did is they didn't anticipate the pushback. They didn't anticipate the pushback of what was going to happen as far as like, the traffic. They didn't anticipate the traffic. So they could have done like a lottery system or something better for this. But I think this was a win for Sideshow, honestly. It sucks for the community. It sucks for those who didn't get it. I understand that. I've missed out on things as well, too. But, hey, they called your bluff where you didn't care about exclusivity.
Maybe, Carlos, this is one where they just greatly underestimated the demand for this piece.
No, it wasn't that. It was the fact that people don't say they don't want exclusivity, and clearly they do. Because this shows it. I'm 100% positive. If they would have ordered like 2,000 of these, this fucker will still be sitting.
Yeah, it would. It would. I agree with you. And I think I'd be willing to bet and speculate that there are a lot of people that wanted this solely because there were only 300.
100%.
So I'm sure there were
100%.
equal number of people, I'm sure, that were legitimately frustrated because they truly wanted this piece and could not buy it. And I feel bad for those people because that's a tough break. But I also be willing to bet there are a lot of people that say they wanted this, but if it sat, then they wouldn't buy it. Like Mark 47, the people that would pay, when it was sold out, pay $1,000 for it, but then when it's reissued, they don't buy it. So it's I
Exactly.
think
So then,
I think that is a point to be made here. So, and I think we'd be silly to skim over that because I think that's definitely something that is a reality based on no data, but speculation that I think observably that we can all probably notice.
yeah.
And
And
I
and
get
really
it. FOMO's
quickly,
a real thing.
yeah. And I know Jassy, really cool dude, said who would buy this at 320? 300 people did, right?
Well, I think Carlos, that was my other point. If this wasn't exclusive, I think you'd see a lot of complaints about the price, but you don't see any
Yeah,
complaints about the
100%.
price for this one because it's
100%.
sold out so quickly. So that's the focus. It's not the price.
So
But if this
we
were in stock, people would be
complain.
like 320. People would be, yeah,
Yeah, we complained because how much was Cobb Van?
300.
300, and it came with nothing. This dude came with 2.0, a gauntlet, and it's $20 more. And look what happened. Like people are like okay, that little Peggy thing, we've gotten that. The shield, we've gotten that. Like nothing here is revolutionary or something brand new where it justifies the price. I don't think it cost them $100 to make that gauntlet,
Yeah.
right?
The
But
gauntlet
hey,
is cool though. I do like that.
it's fucking dope. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it doesn't justify the price.
No.
300? Oh fuck yeah, 320, right? So that's the thing. Again, like I'll say it. It's kind of harsh to say it, but Sideshow called the collector's bluff, where exclusive doesn't matter, and you guys said it definitely does. So,
Right. Well, Keco, what do you think about this? I know you're nodding your head, and I see you and Carlos are in agreement tonight, bro. You guys are parallel in your thoughts tonight. What do you think?
No, I 100% agree with this because I think there's two things I want to say is that yes, people immediately went to grab this because the email that went out that said only 300, there was a big banner that said only 300 because immediately after this debacle, there were people online saying, I got one looking to trade. And that's what they were doing, is that they got it as they knew it was a bargaining chip. They're like, if I get this is essentially 2 figures. I can trade this for something I really want. Half the people that got this probably don't really want it or won't even keep it. But it is exactly what the collecting community wants, the exclusivity. I was there trying to do it, believe me. But I already have the original version of this, and I wasn't butthurt because I didn't get this one. If I got it, it was going to be cool. I was going to put the other one on eBay. I'd have an upgraded one. Cool. Not the end of the world for me. And I would even say that while I was sitting there with the server crashes and, in my cart, then it fell out, all those different things. Like I tried for like 3.5 hours. And I'm going to say this. I actually had fun doing it because it reminded me of like an old Funko thing, of Mezco pre-order, where you're like, oh, is it going to work? Is it going to work? This one was like a practice run for me because I had no stakes. It was just fun. If I got it, sweet. And I mean, I was sitting there working, doing my work thing, refresh, server crash, try again. I was just going through the motions. There are some people that really did want it, and that sucks. But this is exactly it got people talking, it got people wanting it, and like they said, they moved the product. And the people that got this, cool. And the people that are going to capitalize on it, even better. But it was fun to me because I think they should do more things about this. I think 300 is a tough number to say, okay, there's only 300 because that is a limited run. I mean, that's a very limited run.
Yeah.
But if you say, okay, 2,000 of these, get your pre-orders in by midnight tonight, let's do that. I'm cool with that. And it'll get people to be like, okay, I'm one of X amount, and people like that. And there's nothing better than when you get your statue or your box or your certificate of authenticity where it says number of that limited run. That's a fun thing to say because I'm an elitist and I love being able to say I have one of something. It's awesome.
Well, we're all elitists, right? We all own $300
yeah, I mean, and this
figures.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, but I do think there is something to be said for the thrill of the chase there. There's always, I think we all, to a degree also, we want everyone to have everything and we want everyone to have the collectible that we want. And ultimately, I do believe that.
Well, I've been on record saying I don't want people to have things that I have. I've been on record saying that.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, true. You don't give a fuck.
I feel different about that. I feel like I do want people to have ability to get this.
Personally.
But when it's supposed to be a Hot Toys exclusive, there should be something exclusive about it.
Yes.
Like
It
everything
says
else, like
exclusive in the name.
Right.
right. So everything else, okay, you have a month to pre-order. Cool. Exclusive. We're only making 500. That's an exclusive now, right? Or we're making 300. So I think due to the name, it should align with what's going on, right? I think the Arena Boba Fett was a perfect example. I think if they would have came out and said, "Hey, we're only making 500 of these," it would have been the same thing. So this is happening.
Well, I feel like the Arena Boba Fett, if that's the case, we don't know how many there were, but that was
Right,
done
we don't.
properly. People are like, "Ooh, this is cool," and then people are like, "Oh, wait, it's going to wait list," and then some started to convert or whatever. This had no chance of getting people that really wanted it a chance. But with the Arena Boba Fett, if you really wanted it, you probably got it. Not from FOMO, but if you really did want it when it was first released, you probably got one.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And with me, like, I've always kind of maintained that I like the idea of people having the opportunity to get what they wanted. But that's kind of where I like the idea of like a time pre-order system. Like with Queen and the in-art stuff, not to come back to them too much, but, they put a window up and it's up to the retailers, the resellers rather, to do what they will after that. Like Spec could put more up because he had some cancellations, but Queen had a set window, right, of when you could pre-order. Yeah, they reopened the Joker one apparently. I don't know. It's huge. No one really knows, but I like that idea. And like Carlos had mentioned, the time pre-order thing, I kind of like that. Like, I kind of think that's cool because so it's the best of both worlds because then, yes, everyone has the opportunity to get the figure, but it's time to still have an exclusive aspect as well. So I think that's a win for everybody. Like, yeah, maybe if you came into collecting a little bit later, you didn't have the opportunity, but that could be said for anything. Where are we going to draw the line with that, right? Are they going to keep remaking the same figure every year? Like we got to draw the line somewhere on that. So to me, I think a time pre-order window would be pretty cool. I actually kind of like that because like I said, you get the opportunity, everyone gets the opportunity who wants it, yet you get something somewhat exclusive also. And I think that's a win. So
yeah.
I think
so.
cool.
Some people in the chat are saying why aren't these numbered, right? So I just don't think Hot Toys is gonna do that because they understand in the future they could go and reissue these, right, for whatever reason, or make a 3.0 or make So like InArt, they've come out and said we're not going to number these, but we're not going to make it again unless we can improve on it. But that's why they're not numbered. But we're only making what's been pre-ordered. So I think that's why they're not going to number it, because they can just come out and say, hey, we're making a 3.0 because now we're going to do a rooted version. Same thing, but just a different sculpt. It's basically like a reissue, right? So I think that's why they're not being numbered. I don't think because Sideshow is going to go and get like 2,000 more of these or something, right? Because then if Sideshow was to do that, then hypothetically, let's pretend they go and get like another batch, 500 or 1,000, whatever it is. That would probably be some of the most dumbest business practices I've ever seen in my life. Like all this negative PR to go get another batch or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, guys, excellent thoughts on that one. Like I said, I love seeing what the chat thinks about that and just in general what the community's reaction is to it because I think it's pretty telling for all of us to understand kind of where we're at mentally with our collecting and just philosophically. So I think
Carlos and I were civil. I think that's a good
thing.
thing.
Right? We all wore black tees. Come
on
now. Like this is like
look at this. This is unity.
This is unity if I've ever seen it in collecting. So